Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm your other host, Chanel.
And we are back to talk about Foundation Season 3, Episode 6, The Shape of Time. Another really good episode. You wouldn't be able to tell that, well, actually, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that the showrunner is not on the show no more because I feel like this season's been the best one so far. But before we get into this episode, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@wewaswatching. Like our channel, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see us go live, which we're live right now on YouTube if you listen to us on podcast. So check us out on video and interact with us in the chat. You can email the show at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us any theories you have. We'll be jumping into Peacemaker next week. So if you're excited about Peacemaker, let us know about that as well in the email, and we'll read those on the show. And you can follow us on social media at WeWasWatching on Twitter and Blue Sky. So Chanel, before we get into everything, after the show last week, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I was up till 3 a.m. watching music videos and music songs on YouTube because I couldn't help myself.
Because those things videos, you said.
Yes. And I started taking some notes, some observations, my hip hop observations.
I forgot. I'm like, what? Were you just remembering the good old days? I know I'm not the only one who watched music videos before I went to school, so that's what I thought you were alluding to. But no, you're talking about something else. You're talking about this theory you want to create about, I don't even know if it's what to call it. It's like a theorem where you want to give credit to men who were not.
No, that was one song. And I wasn't giving them credit.
What's the new task?
These are hip hop observations, okay? This is what the segment is called, hip hop observations.
Do you need segment music?
I know I should have. Well, one of my favorite podcasts, the Dan Le Batard Show, they have a segment called Weekend Observations. And the guy gives his weekend observations in sports. But they do it like the old Don Imus thing. So after he says everything, they hit a beep. So he'll say, beep, beep. And it's like a thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't quite want that, but I'm good with like a jingle or two.
So here are my your phone's ringing. But no, it's not. That's not your phone.
No, it is my phone, but I can't get to it right now.
So here are my hip hop observations. All right, you ready? This will be quick so we can get into your stuff before we get into the show. The first thing I notice is, as a symbol of traditional like black beauty, like how they that's what I'm using quotey fingers, traditionally black beautiful women and how they would have in music videos. The women are like way thicker today than they were in the 90s in the music videos. Like, I'm not even talking about like BBL women with BBLs. I'm talking about just generally, just a lot thicker women are being shown
in the
as
90s, like just being so skinny was it.
Yeah, it was startling. I'm watching all these videos and I'm just like, this is so different than like now in the context of like video girls, what they look like. Let me see. What was going on in the video was insane, but had nothing to do with the song. I don't even know what that song was. DMX did a song just naming names. Just naming names. That's almost as bad as Genuine naming jeans. It's better than Genuine.
List of names.
It's better than Genuine because at least the women represent something to him, as opposed to just naming brands of jeans. But he still just named a bunch of women names. Tyrese, Cisco, and Keith Sweat all sing very hard. Too hard. They be singing really hard. Like their life's dependent on this song and getting these notes out. The thong song really repeats the same thing 4 times. The whole song is the same thing 4 times.
Hold on, because you're going too fast. Because first of all, the thong song is a feat of musical ability. Like, if you really listen to the thong song, Cisco is hitting notes he doesn't have to hit. He's doing flips he doesn't have to flip. Like that, the song, the lyrics don't matter. Like he's basically saying it doesn't matter what I'm singing about. I'm gonna out sing all the other men. And then like the TGT of them all, the Tanks, the Genuines, the Tyrese's, they were singing hard, but that's because R&B used to be pleading music, like real like lover boy music. So it makes sense. Like I don't think they're singing hard enough now. I don't think they're making a
No,
real
they're
effort.
not. Well, R&B doesn't exist anymore like it used to. We had this discussion.
It's trap
Also,
R&B.
in the thong song video, there was only 2 women in the entire video with a thong on. They were all wearing like bikini briefs and stuff. I'm like, you have a song called the thong song, and they're wearing like bikini briefs.
I mean, he was probably like, we don't really need to see the butts to get it. Like,
No, they had 2 women with thongs on.
I know he's like, they're hearing me talk about it. Why would they need to see it too? Like, what does that
It's
mean?
such an odd
he's
thing.
Like, let's tell a story here. I mean, that's why it was so great, because we were just like, some people were already doing very objectifying things, but some people were just saying silly stuff and still creating art.
Also, he was doing backflips on the beach.
Yeah, he was doing flips just to do flips for sure, and that's what makes it amazing. That's not a bad observation.
I think Trina is like Erykah Badu, where they have like magic that just sucks men in. There's just nothing you can do about it. It's like
charismatic, yeah.
You know, like when on the old cartoons, when like Bugs Bunny would see Lola or something and he'll just lose his mind. That's Trina. I saw like 4 Trina videos and I'm just like this is like magical stuff. Like just her being.
She pulled you in.
Just her being, just her existence.
Did she pull you in yesterday?
Yes, of course. Oh. What do you mean?
I thought you were just saying like back in the day. Wow, yeah. I mean, she's special. Some women just got it.
Her existence, just standing there.
Some women just got it. Some women just got it.
It was pretty incredible. Lil Kim's voice talking is so different than her voice rapping. It's like really startling.
I'm so sad about like how she has altered her appearance, but ultimately she's definitely the queen bee.
I said music was way more creative in the 90s.
I mean, in some ways, like there are people who are doing music now, but we don't think of them as like, I guess you don't think of them as like the mainstream rappers, but that's kind of not true, because like Tyler is very creative. Kendrick is very creative. Like there's actually still a lot of creativity in different, even like what Atlanta does sometimes, even though it's become more common now. At first, like that was very creative and different. So I think it just depends on what, like, is it more creative because it was the first decade of like full rap? Is that what we mean by creative? Like, you know, I feel like by default it would have to be creative. So I feel like that's kind of unfair.
Second decade.
The first full decade.
Second decade.
What? Because Herc did that in '79. What year was it?
Yeah.
When Herc was in
Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5.
Okay,
the message.
Right. Second decade. But that was what, 1976 or what?
79.
79. Yeah, I just feel like there's a no, that's fair then. But the 80s was a different genre, and then I think it just depends on when you.
Watched a lot of 80s hip hop too that night.
Yeah, it depends on when you want to, what you want to qualify gangster rap as, if it's the end of something or the beginning of something.
Yeah, gangster rap started in 87.
Yeah, like that's either the end of rap in the 80s or the beginning of rap as we know it now. Yes. It kind of depends on how you want to think about it.
Mary J is an all-time vibe master, but she's not the greatest singer.
I'm not seeing are you pulling up comments?
No, I'm reading my observations.
Oh, because you said what to it like you don't know who said that.
I said Mary J is an all-time vibe master, but
you
not
know what's so
but not
funny?
She's not that good at singing.
I heard Ray J.
No, Mary J.
Why I was laughing. Okay.
Mary J.
I think that's valid. My friend is a stan and went to her concert recently, and she was watching back the videos, and she was like, "Auntie's not really hitting the notes, but she looks." She great.
Never did, but it's her vibes. She's got that thing.
I mean, it's the story she's telling. She's honestly, in a way, this is a reach, but in a way, she's who Cardi B fashioned after. Like people identify with her because of her story and where she came from, and then she had the talent. Not to say she didn't have the talent first, which is kind of different than Cardi B's story, but in terms of like her background.
Absolutely. I said, why is Usher having a Grease standoff with Tyrese in the My Way video? It was very odd. They did a whole Grease routine in the video, and Tyrese is in there. He doesn't sing a note. He's just in there acting.
They were buddies.
I listened to this song 8 times in a row, just so you know, on repeat. Overnight Celebrity is a masterpiece of a song. I listened to it 8 times in a row. And I was so distraught about what happened to Kanye West. That song made me so distraught.
Oh, that's why. I thought you were just giving big ups to Twista.
Kanye was that song is like a production genius. Like, it is like a masterpiece. I'm not even exaggerating. I listened to it 8 times in a row, and I was like, this is incredible. And every time I listened to it, I heard something different. And I was like, what happened to him, man? Like, that's like some all-time like genius stuff back then.
It's those parties in LA.
So is what?
I say it's those parties in LA.
Those parties in LA. All right, I only got a few more. How they used Peaches in the Peaches and Cream video is insane. I don't know how that made television, how they were using those peaches in that video. Missy's the GOAT to me, and her videos are so creative.
I mean, if you want to make her one of the sole reasons why the 90s was so prolific, like, you could do that. I mean, you know, Michael Jackson was still making music, so any era where he was creating videos is going to be the most creative of all time. I mean, there was definitely a time when like the music video had to go with the song, because you had like, you were gonna, like, it was MTV or TRL or it was, those are the same thing, on 106 in Park, or like, it was a video countdown show.
MTV Raps back in my day. That's before your time.
That is not back in your damn day.
That's back in my day.
But yeah, no, I mean, agreed. Like, that's where the start of it was. But I'm saying, like, there became a time when like you had a visual. Like, remember, MTV used to have a show about making a music video, and you would just go with artists to make their music video, and they talk about it. They need to honestly bring that back. I used to watch the hell out of that. Like, Britney Spears would be like, this is the concept of Lucky, and she's on space, and then she's doing this, and you'd be like, I get it. Like, MTV really, before the reality show boom after the first writer's strike, MTV just was, it really was like all about the music business. And I think that, you know, I was literally thinking the other day about how we lost that, but you know, they're just going with the times. And you know,
speaking of Will Smith was rapping his ass off on Brand New Funk. That's before your time, but I had to send you that so you can hear that song.
Okay. I actually enjoy Will Smith as a rapper.
Also, does Nas understand that Africa is a continent? Are we sure that he knows it's a continent?
You know who else does? You know, since you want to talk about rap, and since you want to talk about Kanye, do you know what to this day like infuriates me?
What?
He thinks Williams is the last name of the royal family. He thinks like Prince Williams has a different first name.
What do you mean?
If you ever listen to Watch Your Throne, he goes, Prince Williams ain't do it right. If you ask me, I think he thinks Williams is his last name, like Jackson, and his first name is like James or something. There's definitely an S on the end of Williams. He says, Prince Williams ain't do it right. If you ask me if I'm with him, I'm going to marry Kate Nash. Like, he thinks the last name of the royal family is Williams. He just adds an S on everything. No, you're not. No, he's not from Detroit. You'll never unhear that again.
No, you're messing up the observation. Nas thinks Africa is a state.
Does you mean he thinks it's a country?
He thinks it's a state. He doesn't even think it's a country.
Based on what?
And he definitely doesn't think it's a continent.
Okay, based on what?
I'm going to open up every cell in Attica and send them to Africa. Where in Africa? Nigeria, South Africa. Where's he going to send them?
It's implied that he's going to do the genealogy.
Ghana. Where's he sending it? No, it's not. It's not implied that he's going to do that. It's that Africa is the homeland, so I'm just going to send you there. That's where we're from. Africa.
Exactly. And so he's like, wherever you're from in Africa, we'll do a process. We'll open up an office.
No. 1996, it wasn't no 24 and me. It was, I'm gonna send you to Africa. It's almost racist.
Like
it's almost something I'd expect a racist to say. I'm gonna send you back to Africa. No, he's saying I want to let all the black people out of Attica, out of prison. And when I let you out, we're gonna go back to Africa. The state of Africa is what he said.
Well, I think he was just like, here's what's more likely. What's more likely is that he just started reading. Like he had just started reading and he was reading Marcus Garvey and he was like, that's all I need to hear. He said, back to Africa, done. And so I think he was more just inspired by the ideas than he was empowered by the details.
When I was a teenager, I was in love with Aaliyah. I loved Aaliyah.
Who was it?
She was just so cool to me.
You know what's so funny to me is the people who theorize that like that somebody, the greatest living entertainer of all time. You know who I'm talking about. People don't say the name. People theorize that they had Aaliyah killed so they could take the top spot, and I think that's like a very ridiculous thing to say. But I do think Aaliyah would be a force here.
Yeah, but Aaliyah's way less talented than that person.
I mean, that's what. But you know how people want to say that. So like, I mean,
she was just cool as hell.
Yeah, like Aaliyah would be up there with the Kelly Rowlands of it all and the Keisha Coles and like people with amazing. Well, no, actually, I would go beyond that because like the thing is, Keisha Cole can sing, Kelly Rowland can entertain.
They sing better than Aaliyah. Like, Aaliyah was just cool.
But Aaliyah could dance. She had style. She could dance. So she'd be like the Zendaya of R&B, and I mean that in the best way possible.
All right, a couple more, and then we'll get into the show. Somehow Maya looks even better 25 years later.
Maya is amazing. I wonder what, like, whenever people just don't produce at the same level they did, I just wonder what man wanted to have sex with them and they said no.
She looks, well, she's also rich. She don't have to do anything else if she don't want to.
You know another hip-hop baddie who doesn't have to rap ever again in her life?
Who?
Eve.
Well, yeah. Of course
Eve
not.
She married a French billionaire.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she just doesn't have to do it if she doesn't want to.
But she been stopped. She got into acting. She don't even act no more.
Yes, I'm saying she's just doing side missions because she's rich. She's rich and he's rich and she's happy.
I don't understand why Jagged Edge was crip walking in a video in Atlanta. It was very weird. You
want them not to represent?
They're from Atlanta.
Crazy. You want them not to represent? Are you saying that the Crips aren't worldwide?
Yes, I'm saying crip walking in a video should be relegated to people on the West Coast.
I gotta believe there's a syndicate.
Luda has the best Southern rap voice of all time. Whatever happened to Chingy?
I wonder who wanted to have sex with him. He said no.
I don't know if he's problematic or not. I haven't followed it, but Jermaine Dupri is kind of a genius.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if Jermaine Dupri is problematic or not, but he's kind of a genius.
I just looked it up. And Eve and them are still together, and they have a baby named Wild.
They don't make clean versions of songs no more. They used to have, clean versions and explicit versions. They should literally change the words to make the clean versions. They don't do that no more. Bobby Brown was clearly on cocaine in his music videos. Obviously.
This is getting anti-black. This is getting real anti-black.
He was obviously. I got to see Cameo in person one day. Love Cameo. Love Larry. Also, that Candy video is incredible production for like 1986. Like
your algorithm took you all around, up and down the chutes and ladders.
And then the last one that I wrote for today, I have more, but I'll save the rest for another day. I had no idea Pimp Juice was a video.
Everything back then had visuals. You were putting out the video as much, because like, remember when radio was like basically payola and nobody could stream? I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, the good old days. Wish we had that.
I don't know if you remember this, because I feel like you were kind of like outside, like playing sports or like whatever you were doing, because you already had kids and you were like paying a mortgage. But back then when I was a kid, you can stream stuff on demand. So unless people bought your CDs, or unless you had a cassette tape still, or unless they played on the radio, people didn't like. That's why TV was such a big deal, because all of a sudden people could get like promo from that. So everything had a video so that it could go on TV as well. I don't know if you knew that. I just figured you were like, fighting in Vietnam or something when that happened, so you wouldn't
Yes.
be aware.
Yes, I remember pre-iPod. I know that's a
For
long
like
time. I know you were like a
because
baby
your kids
before then.
were showing it to you. Your kids were showing it to your grandkids.
Yeah, no, I was going, I was going to record stores and buying CDs and stuff. I know you don't know nothing about that, but I was like literally going there and buying it. That's what we did. That's what we had to do back in the day.
You were a baby holding your mom's hand doing that. Why do you keep acting like you're as old as A-Tracks? You're not.
Old man. I'm an old man. Okay. So those are my hip hop observations for today. I have some funnier ones, but I'll save those for another day.
Okay. Well, I have stuff to talk about too, so this is just gonna be a long day.
Oh, look, somebody in the chat responded. Look at this. That's right. We got a new person in the chat. SDC said, I love Cameo.
Hey, SDC.
That's right. Chanel doesn't even know who Cameo is, by the way.
Shut up. Can you shut up?
She doesn't know Cameo. I'm going to send her some music.
I am a Black woman. I'm a Black American woman. Stop.
I'm going to send her some music so she can see Larry Blackmon, who has the greatest box cut of all time. There's no person that ever walked this earth that has a better box cut than Larry Blackmon.
So, you're gonna make me forget my list with you going on about.
I'll send you some Cameo.
You don't have to send me any Cameo. I'm aware of Cameo. Thank you.
You don't sound like you're aware.
I do know Cameo. I don't even know why I keep explaining myself to you. So, basically, I'm doing my Marvel rewatch. I've seen a lot of movies in the last week. I've just been really ripping through it. And I told you I started Daredevil. And so in my Marvel rewatch, I've committed to also watching the shows, which is a feat. I don't know how long this is going to take me, but I also watched I Am Groot. Which is a really cute, like, small mini series of just like small cutscenes with Groot, like exploring the world. It's actually very, very cute, and it's really nice animated. Like, you can play it for your kids. And then I am now watching Daredevil, and I'm actually in the season finale of season 1 right now, and I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about Daredevil. I'm assuming you've seen it.
Yeah, of course.
You watched it like when it first came. First of all, don't lose interest when I'm talking.
I'm not losing interest. I'm saying that was a silly question. Of course I watched Daredevil.
You watched it like when it like first came out, like it was like a big deal. So I think what I found out when I was researching that really upset me was that apparently with Daredevil Born Again, which I think has already come out, right?
Yes.
They were writing it, and it was supposed to be. It was like originally a legal procedural and more like focused around a courtroom. And then like, I guess he had his shit in the background he was doing. And then they fired them and rewrote it and had like people redoing it. You might even talk about this on the show. I need to see the legal procedural. I'm craving it. I'm yearning for it. I need to see my Perry Mason, who sometimes fights crime. I need this to be like all law.
Well, that is Daredevil in the comic books.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I need. I need more courtroom because, like, he's good at the courtroom. 2, I think that the cases are interesting. And then, like, the whole thing about season 1 is it's about a case. They're just not fighting it. But, like, the law that applies and, like, dealing with the legal system comes in and out all the time. So I feel like they really could make it like I just want a Law and Order with, like, I want Law and Order, but I want Stabler's violence to be vigilante violence.
Do you see him in court in She-Hulk when you get to that?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's hilarious. Actually, that's where he cameos.
Well, yeah, because she's a lawyer too. Jennifer Walters is a lawyer.
That's a lawyer. Okay. No, I know that. I know. I mean, I know Megan Thee Stallion is there. I just didn't know that Daredevil was also there. Charlie Cox is doing good. I did ask myself. I had a couple of thoughts that were maybe inappropriate because one of them was like, so Ben Affleck has played in The Accountant. And he has played Daredevil. And I'm like, this man is just like, so he just wants an Emmy or an Oscar for playing a disabled man. Like how many times he's just gonna try to put a different disability on it? Be like, look, guys, I could do that too.
He's good. He's good as Matt Murdock. You
Okay.
couldn't really have a blind actor play Daredevil.
No, that I thought about as well, because there was a scene where Daredevil was following a blind person who got into one of the blind people who works for the Chinese woman, was following them, who got into a car, and he goes, oh, they're in a black town car, I need to follow them. So he runs into an alley, throws out his walking stick, which is so funny because how many of them does he have, like in a box somewhere? He runs up a fire escape and then starts to follow the truck by running across the rooftops of Hell's Kitchen. Like, I'm like running, jumping, scaling, catapulting. And I was like, this is so funny. And genuinely, a blind person could not do this.
No.
Like, the time it would take to train a person to actually have these pretend powers, like, we just need to go ahead and let somebody with sight do it.
They couldn't do it.
Like, because it is so beyond the pale. And I think that is like very interesting. I don't really care, but I just for the first time wondered if we ever learned more about the chemical that he gets spilled with. But
you do learn more about why it happened, but you don't learn anything about like what it is.
Because I'm like, it'd be interesting if that chemical is like related to something else. It's like, you know how they're weaving all the other Avengers shit together.
At the time, hold on. At the time, the Netflix stuff was kind of its own thing. It didn't. It wasn't part of the MCU.
But what's dynamic about this version, because the other Daredevil existed, like, you know, in the Foxosphere or whatever the fuck, so it wasn't attached to anything. This one happens after the alien invasion.
Yeah, but it's not really connected.
Adventure. Can I finish my thought?
Okay.
It happens after the alien Avenger attack, the attack that the Avengers fought in the first Avengers, which I think is just very interesting because they are tying it into that universe in a way that like these standalone shows never were before. Like, so the attacks in New York just are a part of life for them. Like, it comes up in the magazine, it comes up, or in the newspaper, it comes up in what they talk about. Like, it's just, I think it's very interesting to see like, okay, we're dipping down into one of these worlds that's been impacted by this. Because usually, like, it's kind of like how the Penguin was like very much clearly impacted by like the explosions at the end of the Batman. So I just really appreciate that. It's like, it is clearly its own standalone. Like, I have watched the movies before and after this and didn't watch it, and I didn't miss a lot of context, but I do like that they are still putting it in the same, like, very clearly in the same New York that attack happened.
No, that's what I'm telling you. It's not.
It's not the same New York from the Avengers? It has to
No, not technically, no. What they said was
why?
Because at the time Marvel Television and Marvel movies, Marvel Studios were separate entities in Marvel. They weren't. Now they're one. Now they're all under Kevin Feige. There's all one thing. That's why all the TV shows are tied into the movies. Back then it was separated. So they basically were saying like, this is a world that had an attack in New York, but it wasn't the actual MCU. It was basically saying like, in this world this happened, but it was the actual MCU. Because when the new Daredevil came out, that is a part of the MCU, they asked them, they were like, how much from the Netflix series is canon to what we're doing now? And they were like, well, we're gonna pick some parts of it that we want to keep and some parts that we don't want to keep. And so just assume that like the stuff that we keep happened to these Daredevil and stuff in this universe, but it's not everything that happened is not in this MCU universe.
Well, it was I think it's one of those things where after the fact we can go back and connect dots, because the way that it comes right after, because like in the series, it's right after the way that Marvel MCU right now is ordering it. It's post Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and it's post the Avengers. So it's Avengers, Guardian Galaxy 1, Guardian Galaxy 2, and then these shows. That's just like how they're telling you in the extended timeline, the same way that they put like Eyes of Wakanda first in this timeline now, even though it's one of the more recent shows. So I say all that to say they are integrating it now in a way where smartly they gave it enough anonymity where it could be those things, because it just makes sense, because they're talking about they're talking about superheroes saving the city in New York vaguely.
Yeah. Vaguely. Because they couldn't tie it in.
but again, like I think that like now in 2025 we could just say it's the same thing, like because the way like they wrote it in a way where it could be. So I'm gonna believe what I want to believe in my own echo chamber. So anyway,
Wow.
been enjoying that, and then because I don't need your technicalities about if I'm still right
I'm
at the end
just
of the day.
telling
if
you
they had an
that they
attack.
said that everything that happened in that show is not canon to the MCU.
They just said that to throw you off. And
Oh,
then
okay.
I did rewatch. So I never watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. And I realized besides the fact that I do not like Chris Pratt, I'm gonna be his hater to the end. I enjoy the movies. And the thing about Marvel is like there are so many movies and so many personalities and so much stuff and so much CGI that you kind of like can take it for granted, but when you reconsider, you're like, oh shit, this was all really good. Like it was all genuinely good. Like it's a good movie. I cried at the end of Volume 2. I love it when somebody who's been misremembered, who's been judged gets remembered at the end for what they did. That always gets me. And I love Groot, and I feel like it is wrong that you could manipulate my biology like that to make his eyes all big and round like an actual baby, and now I just love baby Groot. Like that's wrong. That I want to adopt baby Groot because
That's
you
right.
drew him so cutely. I'm saying like they drew him so cute, and I'm like, you taking advantage of my biology. Like that is crazy. So yeah, I really have been enjoying it. So yeah, I'm on Daredevil season 1. I'm gonna ride this bitch out to season 3. We're gonna see Born Again comes later.
Are you gonna watch it in order, or are you gonna watch it in timeline order?
I'm watching it in the order. I'm calling it by the name that Mama gave it. So I'm watching
No,
it.
what I mean is like
I'm watching the entire MCU timeline order that Disney Plus is telling me it is.
Yeah, no. I get that. No, what I'm saying is Daredevil season 2 and season 3 take place after things like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and the Punisher.
Well, that's the problem is they didn't separate them out. They put the show and then they put Jessica Jones and then they put Luke Cage. So that's the problem.
Okay.
So like I know that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage interplay with each other, but I would love it if they separated the show. I don't know if they can, like in the system, now I think about it. But yeah, they introduced Daredevil, then Jessica James and Luke Cage. And I vaguely remember Jessica
and Iron
James.
Fist.
And Iron Fist is in there later. Yeah, like I vaguely remember it. So I do think I'll be rewatching. The other question is like, will I rewatch WandaVision? I do not know. And I feel like Scarlet Witch is important, but I also feel like I cannot watch. There's only so many things I could rewatch. So TBD on that. If I skip around a little bit, but it's really just this rewatch has really been more about me watching side character movies that I always overlooked and then enjoying the hell out of them. Like I had never in my life sat down and finished Captain America, like the first one. And I had definitely never watched the second one because I was like, who cares? And then I watched it, I was like, okay, these are cute.
The second Captain America? Yeah. That's the best movie they've ever made. Captain America, Winter Soldier, you never watched that one?
I watched it recently. It's not the best movie they ever made.
It's the best movie they've ever made. At least it's the highest rated one. It's my favorite one.
It was fine. It was okay.
Wow.
I did not like it.
That's a crazy take.
Thank you. Have you seen any movies?
No, I can't believe you just said that about my favorite movie.
What was so good about it?
It's like the best movie they've ever done from start to finish.
Why?
The story,
like the writing, the people.
The story, the spy intrigue.
Like when Bucky came, is it because when Bucky came back you were shook? Is that what it was?
No, I wasn't shook. I knew the story. I knew who the Winter Soldier was from the comic books. I'm saying how they did the movie was incredible, and I think I think even to this day, it's their highest rated movie.
I don't pay attention to that.
I think
audiences are fickle. You know what? Audiences are fickle because you haven't been to the movies.
Yeah,
but
94%.
Good for them. I send you recommendations and you don't take them seriously, but
because I haven't gone to the movies.
You need to go see Weapons right now.
You're making me leave the house. That's a chore.
Because I don't think you understand how split people are on Weapons, and I enjoyed that movie thoroughly. So I need you to see it and get your thoughts.
I don't know. People saying Weapons is good from what I see.
Yeah, and then some people are calling it ass, which I think is like a very like.
I just looked it up. Everybody's saying it's good. when I
Yeah,
did a search.
I need you to see it for yourself. And also, I don't know if people can really notice, but you see this little thing. What does that look like?
Karenite.
No, it's a popcorn bucket that looks like a what?
Karenite.
It's a pill bottle. It came
Why do you
on
got a big pill bottle?
Because the first night I went to go see the Stans documentary, they gave out free popcorn in a popcorn bucket that says Stanley Mitchell on it, and it's for the Eminem movie I just saw that I enjoyed.
I'm gonna have to do a timestamp because we went way too long. I went way too long.
What's it been, about 30, 40 minutes?
Almost 40 minutes. People probably left. I thought this was Foundation.
This is our show, and we'll do it how we want to. And, you know, I don't see you recording a podcast.
They might.
But hold on, who do you like? Whose popcorn bucket do you like better? This one or Herbie?
Well, that one's more convenient than Herbie. Herbie's kind of a chore to use.
Yeah, Herbie don't even work. Herbie is not even functional. Herbie just looks. You know who also had a great popcorn bucket? Have you seen the Freaky Friday popcorn buckets?
No.
It's like what looks like a cup is actually the popcorn bucket, and what looks like a popcorn bucket is actually the cup. It's very cute because it's Freaky Friday. Get it?
I've never seen Freaky Friday.
Did you have a teenage years?
I was too old for Freaky Friday.
Oh my God. Okay. So if you guys are here for Foundation, thank you so much.
I was graduating high school when it came out. I'm watching
okay,
Freaky
that doesn't mean you can't go see the movie. I saw movies I saw Toy Story 3 when I was graduating high school. So
Toy Story 3 is great. That movie made me cry.
It's like Toy Story Freaky Friday is lexicon. There's certain movies that just represent the American millennial experience. A lot of them are white, and we know why.
Oh look, I got this for you right
here. You can't tell the story you can't tell our story as a generation and not mention Lindsay Lohan. It's not possible.
I'm gonna send you this because I'm your friend.
So,
all right, so let's get into Foundation.
Yeah, thanks for listening. But I just really gotta like push this out here. Like, we are not robots. Okay, if we have stuff that happened in our week, we're gonna want to talk about it. We're gonna want to catch up, and there's somebody out there who wants to hear it. There's somebody out there who's washing dishes, or buffing their car, or you know, putting their baby to sleep, and they just put this on and it does the job, and then they pick it up and they change the speaker from baby room to their room, and they listen to Foundation. And the good news is you can skip ahead, and we don't even have ads. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just vibe out, listen to a longish episode, get to know us a little bit. Maybe you don't like Brandon's music takes because they're very random. He talked about Cameo and he talked about 112, but
no, I didn't say nothing. I did say something about 112.
I talked about 7 different movies, and that's okay. But we hope you come back and listen to the foundation of it all. Go ahead.
I sent you a nice gift, that you can look at when we're done. Yes.
I actually had to turn my phone off because my family kept calling me despite me saying I'm not available. Like that, literally, that phone call you heard was 3 calls back to back. So I just went ahead and nip that in the bud.
So, Foundation Season 3, Episode 6, The Shape of Time. This show is really ramping up.
You know Shape was a plane that you can wrap yourself in like a blanket?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, well, now we know.
This show is ramping up very heavily, and I don't know what's going to happen. I love shows that tell me something's going to happen in the future, and then it's like, how do you get to that point? I'm very into that type of show.
Yeah, I'm a little bit just like, what the fuck? Because like now we're introducing the concept of black holes, and I'm just like, do you think the story continues from here for sure? Do we have confirmation?
Yeah, well, we know where the black hole's coming from. We just don't know how Brother Dusk is gonna when or why he's gonna use it. But it's coming from the Novacula. And so now we know. Now we know that 4 months, the Novacula, somebody's gonna use the Novacula. It's gonna create a black hole. and Gaal is going to be near it. This is what we know.
Do we think that they delay the ascension because of all the stuff going on?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, because by the time you train up all the new dust, you don't have a day to become a dawn, and you don't have a dust to become a day. So yeah, I think you have to keep it. So you know what's funny?
No.
Hey,
No. This is even more funny. It'll make you laugh. Do you know what they call Brother Dusk after his ascension?
Brother Dust. That would be too good.
Brother Darkness. That's what they call him.
We're going to do a poll. We're going to ask you, is it Brother Darkness or is it Brother Dust?
No, Brother Darkness. That's what they call him.
I understand. Is that really what they call him?
Yes.
Are you joking?
No, Brother Darkness.
Oh, I thought that was like
Rick James and Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
That's what they call him. All right, so we start this episode.
That's not what they call him, or that's what you're calling him? Like,
no,
is that actually
that's what they call it
in the books?
Yeah, in the show and in the books. When
Brother
he
Dust
ascends,
was right there. Brother Dust was right there.
Well, Dust is probably offensive.
Very spot on. Okay, so anyway, he goes, but yeah, like I think the more I think about it, they don't have, like, they could decant them babies or whatever, but the training of it all, they don't have the time for that, and they just literally don't have, like, as far as we know, Dusk is dead now, so
no, they can decant a Cleon at any age, so they have the Cleons growing with them.
And the personality of it all is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they download it, like the thing that they were going to give Song today.
But
this
do they
in the episode.
have that?
Yeah, they have that.
Did he erase any of that?
No. In season 2, they show him trying to access previous Cleon's memories, and he realized that Demerzel erases certain things from their memories when they decant new Cleons.
So that they can stop the drips as much as possible.
If Demerzel went to the crib and wanted to get another day, she could get another day.
Well, I guess she just doesn't want to raise another dawn right now, but the Dusk may get his wish, which is to delay his ascension, because it just doesn't make sense to deal with that chaos of 3 rulers right now. And also, I think they might just be more open to accepting that the dynasty is ending, because it's been something they've been warned about now for 150 years. So,
well, we'll get to that because that comes up in this episode. So the show starts with the dream of the mule. Well, I should say nightmare. He wakes up from a nightmare and he says, night after night.
Yeah, now we know he's getting him too.
I've had the same nightmare about this woman's face. It haunts me. I thought I'd never meet this woman. But that Pritchard motherfucker showed up at Calgon and I touched his mind. And you know what? He's just like me. Except I'm better. So I was able to decipher his mind and I was able to grab a name from it. And now I could put a name to a face. The name of the woman that troubles me when I sleep, Gaal Dornick. This is what he said. She visited me 1,000 times, but I'm going to find a way to destroy her before she destroys me. Prepare the black tongue. Isn't that how he said it? Did I do a good job?
That was pretty good, but I just want to know, like, do we think... I guess I'm just really, the chicken or the egg right now is really getting to me, because it's like, were they always going to have were they both having these dreams inevitably? Because it sounds like it, which made me feel a little bit better, because I was arguing before that Gaal is like forcing these things to happen. But yeah, it sounds like no matter what, he's out for blood and he wants to get them before they get him.
So then we cut to the beggar and we pick up where we were the last time. And I actually have this scene because Demerzel was on one.
It has been more than 300 years. You are looking well.
How?
I followed Brother Dawn to Clarion. He was in communication with you.
Is he? Where is he?
Maintenance Airlock 17B suffered an explosive decompression. 12 seconds later, Dawn's nanite stopped transmitting his vitals. He died for you. Or because of you. And you're going to tell me why.
Pretend to grieve while you have his replacement.
Gaal Stern talking shit after she got the dude killed. Don't pretend to grieve. What are you doing? You knew what was going to happen.
I raised him! I watched his first steps!
you gonna tell somebody mama not to grieve when he dies? That's so fucked up. I know that's your son, but you know, don't pretend to be like you're upset, like you ain't raised that motherfucker. You can just decant another one. So disrespectful.
I protected him.
He was afraid of you.
Are you?
Look, Gaal didn't know she was a robot. You know, she didn't know.
I assumed Dr. Selden informed you I was a robot. I see I was mistaken. You will tell me everything, Miss Dornick. How Dawn came to be your instrument, why you set him this task, and why I shouldn't end your life this instant.
That's a great way to start the episode. Were you expecting her to attack her to Gaal? Were you expecting Demerzel to attack Gaal, Chanel?
I mean, I was surprised when she was there, but everything after that, I was just non-judgmental. I was just letting it happen. I feel like it made sense when I did feel like when she explained the situation to her, that's a great chance for anybody who doesn't understand what's been happening to like get a recap, because she basically just walks through it and she's like, yeah, like we're doing the plan. Harry built in a redundancy. He made sure I was, well, he did, but he didn't make sure I was still alive. So now I'm here. And she tells her about the second foundation, and she tells her how they're different. And so, well, first of all, that's enough to convince her that Gaal is like not just trying to damage the Cleonic dynasty for no reason. Like this is all aligned to the Prime Radiant. And then they have this scene where actually this is a very cool, like the show is very cool in general, but she's basically like, I want you to convince me. And she's like, well, if you're a human, we could go hand in hand, you know, I could hold your hand, you could put a finger on me and I'd be able to like transport it to you. And she was like, oh, I have a way. And so she like,
you are jumping way ahead.
Then it happened right after that.
No, that's like, at the end of the show.
Well, we could stay. We could go scene by scene. But I guess you have.
No, we can stay.
Well, I'm just okay.
Keep going. You good?
Well, I was just curious because I was like, what? I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you a question. So the way that she does it is she's like, I need to see your memories. And so she's like, well, you got to drown me. She's like, not a problem, because I'm literally going to give you a COVID test and that's going to make you feel like you're drowning. And so she puts her hands on her, and I guess her like wires go into her nose and her ears and like into her audio sensory whatever channels. And my question for you, Brandon, is what would you rather have someone do that to you, or like would you be okay with that as a kink?
No, not as a kink.
Okay. Oh, would you be okay with it for a way to transport your memories to a robot? You okay with it in context?
Yes, in context, because it's gonna accomplish something.
Okay, but not just to get your rocks off.
No, that is her like, kink though.
I'm like, yeah, we're getting into BDSM for sure.
She stayed drowning herself or trying to drown herself. Like it's the fourth time.
She does like water. So yeah, she definitely was like waterboard me, and then so it's cool because you can see that while that's happening, you think like, okay, there's something happening here, because we have that part of the Prime Radiant that tells the future that dies off in 4 months, and it's just like a static, like it's just stuck, and we start to see like a little bit of it connect. And so while she's doing that, and like there's a very cool scene where like we see them in a void, like sensing those memories together. And so like she sees that she's telling the truth about like her visions and everything, and then they pass out from the effort. I guess like it makes homegirl oh my god, what's her name? Demerzel. It makes Demerzel. Sorry, we do this at the end of the day, and I just spent 40 minutes talking about Marvel. They makes Demerzel's system reboot, and then it makes Gaal like pass out or lose consciousness, and so she literally zaps her, like does the clear, does that? What's that called?
Defibrillator.
defibrillates her and brings her back. And she's like, well, yeah, you might have felt like that was a waste of time, but actually at like negative 2,000 octaves below human ear level, I heard, she literally is like, I heard a black hole. So she's like, now we know the 4 months of it all ends in a black hole. But Demerzel doesn't know, as Brandon was saying earlier, she doesn't know about the weapon that Dusk is creating. So I thought that was very interesting, and that kind of like, to be honest, that's like the whole interaction we see on the ship. So that's like, we can do the rest of the show scene by scene, but that's what Demerzel.
No, well, you jumped past like the most important part of the ship, but I'll get to that shortly.
Okay,
you just skipped right over it.
But that's like that's the interplay we have on that ship. Everything else happens on New Terminus and other places, mostly New Terminus.
So the Mallows ship, Beta comes in to talk to Magnifico. He's worried the Foundation gonna take him. Beta's like, baby, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you. You know why? Because we really good at making people love us. And so he goes into Torin, and Torin is wearing a Power Girl titty window outfit.
Is that a thing people would know?
You don't know who Power Girl is?
What's that from?
Power Girl is a variant of Supergirl who's very popular. If you Google Power Girl cosplay, she's probably her and She-Hulk are probably the most popular cosplay by women. And it's because Power Girl has really, really, really big titties. And her outfit has a big window right here. Big window.
Let me tell you something right now. I never heard of her in my life. Kara Zor-El. Okay.
Yeah. She's a variant of Supergirl.
Oh, there's a YouTube that says, why so big?
Yes. That's Power Girl.
Are we sure this is okay? Are we sure this is good?
You sure it works good? This
depiction.
That's her depiction.
And the best thing is created by 3 men.
That is her depiction. And so she's like incredibly popular, especially in cosplay. If you go to a Comic-Con, you're going to see like 1 million Power Girls, like 1 million of them.
Okay.
And so she has a titty window. And Torin Mallow.
God. Oh my God. You know what? You want to hear some really important to the real world news? So in Smallville, the character who plays her, do you know she went to jail for being a part of a cult?
No.
She was a part of a cult that was like stamping women with like cattle prods and taking people's money like Scientology. Okay, bleep out Scientology, but Allison Mack went to jail for. Okay, wow, this is amazing. Okay, look, there's connections everywhere.
So Torin Mallow had his titty window shirt on.
He did. It looked good on him, honestly.
And
it's definitely something Deion Sanders would have wore if things were more progressive back then.
I'm pretty sure Deion Sanders did wear something like that back then. And he said, I like being famous. This feels more like being important. That was a great line, by the way. So they request landing at Foundation Station in New Terminus.
She said, famous and important were in our wedding vows, which can you imagine wedding vows are like, I promise to make you famous. And as long as, if we're not famous, we will be important. And if we're not either, we will be dead. That was their vows, I think.
And he said, can we land? And they was like, who the fuck are you? And he was like, we trying to land. That's who we are. We got people from the traders with us. And then they turn the weapons on like, the traders, what the fuck? And then he goes, hey, you know that handsome black man y'all got in prison? That's my dog. He told me to come here. Can y'all please just let me here?
Han Thessalonius Pritchard. You know him.
And they said, oh, you know Hans? Oh, all right, you can come in. You good. You come in. But when he came in, they took his ass straight to jail.
Straight to jail, all of them.
As soon as he walks in,
to see that Brandon P. Bell's back in this episode, looking great, looking fantastic. Praise the Lord.
As soon as you got no problem objectifying him. See?
I just said I thank God for him. I didn't objectify him whatsoever.
Okay, you did last
grateful
week
for that
when he was naked.
If you guys want to hear about that, go back and listen to last week's episode, because otherwise, how do you know if I said it or not? You don't know unless you hear it for yourself.
soon as Randu walks in, he attacks Hans Pritchard, and Pritchard gets the upper
With a
hand on
chair.
him.
Yeah, and he literally goes, chairs are more of a 2-hand weapon.
And then he said, Ember's a dick, right? We can agree on that. He was like, yeah. He's like, all right then. And then when he put the chair down,
He's like, truce? No, he goes, truce. And he goes, yeah. And then,
oh, we got a couple chats I didn't see. Katie and Noah said, I like Brother Dust better.
Dust better. Thank you, Katie and Noah. Appreciate it.
And
Next to him, yep. Cult with Ali Mac. Wow. Kate and Noah are on it. They're in the same wavelength. So we talk all the time on the show about how you're either listening because you're like me or you're like Brandon. And if you're like me, then you like cult and true crime and law. And then you also like this stuff. If you're like Brandon, you know all this stuff and you'll maybe listen to somebody else talk a little bit about the other stuff for a second, and that's how we join forces.
So then Randu was like, I'd have fucked you up if you weren't gonna win. I was about to fuck you up.
Yeah, because he does slap him and he goes, I only need one hand for that.
And then Beta comes and breaks it up, and then he looks over to he was like, Magnifico, he gonna play for y'all. He can show him, and you know Hans already knows what's up. So he's like, oh, the instrument's here? He's like, hey, dog, man, let me holler at you, Magnifico. He was like,
very smart.
The Mule, he not treating you good. He don't treat you like I treat you. I can give you the world. Would you mind like coming to play for me and leaving that bum behind? And Magnifico was like, hey, dog, like all I'm trying to do is get some charcuterie cheese, a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich in the morning, and be able to play my instrument. I'll do that anywhere. He was like, all right, my dog, then we good. By the way, I want a replica. Of the instrument, and I want a replica of the Prime Radiant. I'm gonna find those somewhere.
I feel like the Prime Radiant would be you can make that with like some like string lights and some like bendy wire.
And then,
or you want like a good one? Oh, okay, you want a good one.
Good one. Get you. Then Ember comes in and was like, let me see what this guy got to talk about. He's like, I'm not leaving without my people. He was like, my girl and her husband and his uncle. And she was like, and Ember was like, oh, all right, then y'all can come. And then Pritchard thought his ass was coming too. He was like, not you, bro. Sit your ass down. Close the door on him.
Poor Pritchard. I'm really feeling for him because he's like, bro, I literally warned you, and I'm the one who told y'all about this, and y'all still leaving me locked in here.
Then we go to Mycogen. And by the way, I was listening to a podcast last week, another podcast on Foundation, and these motherfuckers think Mycogen's another planet. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? They said it like a million times. It's a different level on Trantor.
It's like below it, yeah. But I think like they kind of just, the problem is like they use the Chiron the same way they do for New Planet. So I think maybe they're not being clear. But that's why you shouldn't listen to other podcasts. You should only listen to We Was Watching podcasts where we break down dope ass shows with a dope ass chat.
And Brother Dude is in his full disguise walking through the town. And they see a report about the fleet blowing up at the enclosure. And Brother Dude was like, I knew some fuck shit was about to happen. That's why I was getting out of there.
Told their ass.
Then one of the street vendors who had like these crazy tattoos and a fucked up eye was like, he's like, what's this shit? And she was like, oh, this that shit right here, man. But I'm gonna tell you, every time you pull one of these, it tastes different. So one time you might have it. It's the best fruit you ever had in your life. And you'll never be able to taste it again.
Fiending for it. By the way, I'm not tasting nothing. All the stuff she had going on with her eyes on her face, I'm like, did it get you like that? Because I don't want nothing that's going to have me fainting like that. If it's going to have my veins showing on my face, I don't need none of this. And he takes it and he's like, ha ha, I'll have the box. He can't help himself.
He took a whole box. He gets to Song crib. And of course, she don't recognize him. Then he takes off his disguise and she looks kind of scared. We'll get to this later. If we go back to the beggar, this is the part that you missed.
She also she knows what Empire looks like. So I don't think, like, in general, she's scared because she's like, and this is what we predicted at the end, or I probably said something like, either way, when he goes up to her, she's gonna be like, bro, why is the fuck is the president here? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's gonna be like, why is the king here? This is actually not a good thing. Like, no one's delighted when the government comes to their door.
So we go back to the beggar, and this was the part you glossed over a little bit, but that was very important.
Unless it's a Princess Diaries.
Gaal asks, how long has Harry known that you're a robot? And Demerzel says, the whole fucking time. And I have no idea how he found out, which is crazy. And then she says, so he talked to you about the Foundation? And Demi was like, he been made his case to me about the Foundation. And Foundation and Empire preservation weren't mutually exclusive. And he needed help. So I gave him access to my memories. And Gaal's like, so you helped make Psychohistory? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, yo, what? I did not see that coming. They didn't tell us that. Did not see that coming.
I mean, I think it makes sense because when you think about like psychohistory being the study of like everything to be able to tell the future of everything, you would need more than a couple hundred years or however much, or you would need more than 50 years of lifetime data and more than you can get out of like textbooks or whatever. Then because they don't have robots, they don't have computers for real like that. So, right? Whatever they have like AI, I guess, but they're missing
She's the last
something.
robot.
And so
she's been around like 10,000 years. So she has plenty of data.
But then I'm remembering they have AI and like they have like the thing on the ship.
For like records and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's not impossible.
But it's not firsthand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
what you're trying to say is right. Yeah.
So it made sense that she used her. That to me wasn't that big of a stretch. I think what Gaal was realizing too was that like when they were on Terminus and she was getting pulled into it, because if you go back to season 1, she won that contest. She didn't know what she was getting herself into. That whole thing was about Demerzel. It was never about the council and the people and all that. And that is very interesting. I think that plus like she mentions how when she went to her first time she jumped space, she didn't fall asleep, and you were like, what does that mean? And like, so I love a show that's like, oh hey, what season is this? 3 or 4?
Season 3. That was season 1.
No, I'm saying we're 3. Yeah. So they're like, hey, guess what? We did plan this shit. We know what we're doing. And we put in these little things so you can see it now to make sense about like why this person is unique. If you felt like we were randomly making her special, we weren't. Or if you felt like we were putting too much on Demerzel, we weren't. Oh my God, I just remembered why I wanted to talk about Marvel. Do you know who I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? You know who plays the villain?
Who plays the villain?
Lee Pace.
Oh yeah, he does. You're right.
And he's blue the whole time. So I literally was just like, I know what's his name. Like I could just tell. I felt from his voice that was him. And I looked up and it was him. And I was like, I'm getting good at this. I'm getting real. Because you know what? I could tell him. But you know what? This is my last time I'm going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry. I just need to say this. Marvel is one of the most diverse franchises in history. Like hands down. And do you want to know one of my specific reasons why?
Why?
I don't even know who plays the green girl. The chick, the blue girl, Smurfette. I don't even know who plays what's her name from one of Thanos' daughters?
Nebula.
I don't even know who plays. I don't know what ethnicity she is. You can't get past that. That's like that put them over any other franchise for me. It's the most diverse, hands down. Because I can't even guess somebody's race because that's how good the makeup is. You've taken me out of this world and put me into a new one. So thank you for that.
So then she asks, she's like, what? And then Gaal's like, look, if you let me go, I'll tell you, you of all people should know the Cleons got backups for a reason. So why shouldn't the Foundation? And then Demerzel let her down. She's like, oh, the Foundation got there's a second Foundation. And Gaal's like, yeah, but we're not in the dark like the first Foundation. We got all the math. Plus, we got Professor X. All of us is like Professor X. You know the X-Men back in the day when you were first built? We like them.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not about Guardians of the Galaxy. Did you see what I sent you?
You didn't send me nothing.
On Instagram?
Oh
no, I tagged you in it.
No, I didn't see it.
They announced the Doomsday Cast.
They've been announced the Doomsday Cast.
Did they announce the X-Men from the Doomsday?
Yeah, it's all the X-Men from the Fox movies.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like 2.5 months ago when they announced this.
Well, I'm seeing it today, and I saw James Marsden, and I did a backflip because I was like, I told Brandon, people want the original X-Men cast, and I'm gonna sign a petition to get Iceman in there. We need him. We need him. All right. So yeah, they are. I forget where we are.
No, so then Gaal tells him we got powers, and she says, "The Mule one of you?" And she says, "No, he's malignant. He ain't like us." But.
So basically, she's like, he's Magneto.
Yes. And well, no, because Magneto doesn't have the same powers as Professor X.
I guess nobody does. He's like
yeah,
Dark Professor X.
No, a lot of people do. Emma Frost. Although Emma Frost is not really evil.
Okay. Don't get too deep into it. I'm trying to stay high level Fox movies. So I guess I'm just saying,
Emma Frost
he's
is
as
in
powerful as Magneto. He's as powerful as Magneto. And we can't control him, but we do know we can try to outsmart him. Oh, she also quickly is like, so what the fuck happened with the enclosure? She's like, yeah, I did that.
So then the rest of it is what Chanel already said. So then we get the new Terminus, and the eclipse is coming, and they're waiting for Selden, and Ember talks to Randu. He's gonna
come out when everything aligns, so they have a little bit of time while all the planets are aligning, and he has his little moment.
And Randy's like, you ain't never give me a seat at the table, so I brought my seat to the table. And Ember says, everybody's worried about this fucking space pirate. Not me. I don't give a fuck about him. But the rest of these motherfuckers are scared.
He's so dumb. And everybody agrees, by the way, that he's dumb, but he just happens to be in power. And then I think they mentioned something about his extended term limits. So he's just like a useful idiot at this point. But
so Torin jumps in and is like, y'all arguing about the same stupid shit. That motherfucker's coming here. He told me himself. He wants to take down the Foundation Empire. I looked into his eyes. It's pure cruelty. And Beta tells Ember, just listen to Magnifico play, and then you'll know everything that we're saying. And then Ember says, all right, I'm going to get everybody who's important to come listen. Magnifico starts playing for everyone. They all get what's the word? Enthralled? Enraptured by his music. And then we get a Gaal voiceover, and she says, there's an old Foundation saying that Selden helps those that help themselves. The eclipse comes, and for the first time, the competing factions
really believe this is their god, which is so funny for what's about to happen. But keep going.
The eclipse comes, and for the first time, the competing factions of the Foundation are uniformed and in uniform, and they understood how the Mule's powers can be amplified by the Visi sonar, and without it, he's vulnerable. They can put their differences aside. They can solve the new crisis together.
Man, aren't you glad that they got this figured out in time to get ready for the Mule coming? And boy, they can set up defenses and be ready when he attacks.
That's so right.
Glad.
Ember says, if you strip you down, that music strips you down. And Torin says, as long as we have Magnifico, they can defend themselves. And then the vault begins to open. And then we cut back to the beggar, and that's when we get the thing that Chanel talked about earlier. Although we did get to see robot boobs again, because she pulls the prime radiant out of her chest.
Oh yeah, I wasn't looking for those.
I know you weren't. That's why I wrote it down.
That's why you did. Okay, so and that's why when Brandon P. Bell is naked, I say what I have to say. Thank you.
And so then we go to Song's crib, and Day gives her some fruit. He's like, I got this for you. And she says, that's gracious, but she looked kind of scared. And then Day says, this place is nice. He's trying to make small talk. And he says, there's a window. That's good.
That's nice. He's like, yeah, this is so cute. He's in his head like, this bitch is taking me back here. He's really just like, I think he really meant what he really obviously means it because he's given up his thingies and he's come to live with her. But you could tell that I think he's okay. Like, brother dude is like ready to slum it, but I do not think he understood the differences in the lifestyle. So like you just have like
I didn't take it that way at all. I took it as that like he's like at a loss for words and what to say, and he really wants to get to the part where she gets her memories back. type of a thing.
Right.
And so
Okay.
he's just trying to
No,
make
sure.
like
I think it's
quick
both,
talk.
but I definitely don't think he, even like when you're thinking about slumming it, and you like remember when he was on the run or like on the hideout, and his guest house was still like a villa that anyone would want to live in. So I also think that on some level he's like, we were supposed to live here and do what?
Then we get this scene, which was a really great scene.
Empire, if I'm permitted to ask, is this part of the arrangement? Or what I mean is, do you always follow up after? Am I in trouble?
What do you remember?
You choosing me? The transport back here?
Nothing else?
Isn't that the idea?
Did you?
He was like, look, I'm a sex worker. I know it. But the whole point of it, our agreement was I come there, I do my thing. When I leave, y'all take those memories out. I go back to doing my thing here. That's it.
You ever wonder why I kept you on for longer than a night?
Maybe it's ego. But I just assumed.
Look at her face here. She's like,
I
oh,
was
oh, I must have put that shit on you, bruh. Oh, shit. That's what she's thinking right now.
very good at sex.
Wasn't that?
Sex was bad.
No, I only mean I'm.
Look
I
at
mean,
him
it was
blushing.
more than that. It was. Put this behind your ear.
What is it?
It's all the time they stole from you, all your memories.
Wait, I don't.
I stole them back from our memoriam. For you. I know it's unorthodox, me coming here, but a few days ago, you would have wanted these memories back.
I don't understand. What do you want from me?
I selected you, yes, but as I explained the process, you asked if I would let you keep your memories. That's nothing new. We're asked it all the time. People get cold feet, they don't like us rooting around in their brains, but when you asked, you believed I would do it. You looked at me and saw a person who might do you a kindness.
Bruh, how he got me liking this, like, this fucking dictator. Like, he's probably he seems completely genuine to me right now.
I mean, and again, I think it's like the genetic drift of it all. Because remember when he talked to like the first of his kind, and he was like, "You're disgusting me. You don't like whatever." I think there's been enough time that he's become slightly human.
Yes.
So I did. I threw out the rules for you, and we lived together, and you loved me. You did. And we had plans. I was gonna come here with you. We were going to live out a very dark time in the galaxy. Right here. Just put this on.
No! We had an arrangement. A business arrangement, and it came with a lot of money, but I don't want to remember it.
You asked him to keep the memories. What are you talking about? But she don't remember that she asked him.
I have a life here, and I'm very certain that you're wrong about what we were.
I'm not! I'm not. I know about your beliefs. The inherent.
Can you imagine giving it all up for someone only for them to be like, who are you? It's insane.
Well, I mean, but he was prepared for that. I think what's really crazy is that she, like, this reaction was interesting to me because I think out of pure curiosity, I'd be like, all right, let me see. Like, what happened? Because I don't know if the memories are going to change what she remembers from before or after. So she's just giving herself the context. Like, it's not like it's going to, like, change her mind back to wherever mindset she was at 2 weeks ago or however many days. So her being like this, it makes sense in the end, but her being this resistant, I was like, girl, just put it on and then decide what you want to do.
And if you put this on, you'll find that you experienced something that must qualify as a miracle. You've met a robot.
That's like saying, when you was up there, you met Jesus, right? But he came back. When you was with me, he came back.
If you told me I met Beyonce and I forgot, I'd be like, yeah, let's just go ahead and put it back here.
Katie and Noah, they said it's so Severance. Yeah, very much
Katie,
so.
Katie and or Noah, I love making up obscure connections between the shows we watch. So thank you for connecting it to Severance. Like, we just like to pretend like these shows are all connected by our cinematic universe. So you're correct. It is just like Severance.
So back on Terminus, Ember comes to visit Pritchard, and he goes, "Oh, so you talked to Magnifico, right? I can leave, right?" He was like, "Let me review something with you." He was like, "You think I'm stupid?" He was like, "I may be an asshole, but I'm not stupid. You ain't never worked for me. I checked the logs. You purged those motherfuckers, but we know the part of the galaxy that you went to. Who the fuck do you work for?"
He literally is like, "We saw how much gas you used." We were like, "So you had to have driven at least 3,000 miles."
He ain't never rented a U-Haul before. He ain't know to refuel it before he brought it back. You got to bring it back to where it was where you got it. If he'd have done that, he'd have been straight. See? And
yep,
then,
you know how they say like smart kids don't know like basic street sense? That's what it is.
And then Pritchard was like, "Well, you tell me since you got it all figured out, buddy." And he's like, "I don't know. I just know it ain't me." And then he was like, "Who do you serve?" And Pritchard was like, "I serve the work of Selden. That's who I serve." And Ember was like, "Well, that's nice and vague."
He said Selden's plan. That's it. Selden's plan.
He said, "Hey, dog. Speaking of that, I'm about to go see the man himself. Don't you want roll with us?" And Pritchard started to get happy, and he was like, "I'm just fucking with you. You can't come. Sit your ass down," and left out the room.
And you know what? Based on how it went, when God closes the door, that rejection is protection. Because I think that he would have been real confused to see this Harry compared to his Harry.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it's basically like seeing the wizard.
Yes, like, he had the real Harry. This is a hologram.
I watched Wicked recently too. Did I tell you that?
You watched what? Wicked?
Wicked, yeah.
Oh yeah, Wicked's great. It's one of my favorites.
Jeff Goldblum was good as a wizard. I wanted him to. I was trying to remember the details. I was like, he's dumb, right? But at first, he got me with his Goldblum charm. What a good guy.
So then back at Psalm's crib, Day continues to say he knows about the religion. He don't care. Day said he didn't come with any. He's like, "Dog, I don't have no guards. I don't got no nanites. I had a disguise on. Clearly, I didn't come here to fuck with y'all. Like, I wouldn't be here like this if I came to fuck with y'all." And
yeah, like dead ass. Like, it's clear I'm not on a rampage. Like, I understand your trauma, but like, I haven't called back up in a minute. It's just been me this whole 20 minutes. Like, listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Then he looks at his hand and she calls somebody. And then this woman comes in and shoots his ass. And then he gets back up. He's like, "Bruh, I'm not here to harm." She's like, "I'm not going to let you terrorize us like Cleo on the first." He's like, "Dog, look what I'm wearing. Like, what are you talking?" Boom, shoots him again.
You know what's fucked up? It's like, this is not an argument I would ever make. So this show put me in this position. But you know how people are like, "Well, you weren't enslaved." That's what's happening. And it's like, this was for my ancestors. He's like, "But I didn't do it to you. We're cool."
He says, "Not my fault. I have his face."
That's literally what he says. Yeah.
And then she says, "Song, you got to believe me." And she goes, "My name is Songbird 17. And if I ever told you that I loved you, it's because I was scared. Because this is Ocean Class 49, and she's my life mate." I was like, God damn. You like those names, Chanel?
No, I hate them, but I think it's like literally, I do. Have I ever told you that I want to give my kids futuristic names?
No.
Oh, wow. I believe in giving my kids futuristic names because I once saw a tweet that said, "How are we going to get our kids to have names like that? Like, we think they're just going to come out of nowhere, but we're the ones who have to do it. We're the ones who are just going to have to start randomly giving our kids names like Xenon and Nebula." So anyway, I'm going to name my kid something Galactial. Galactic, Celestial.
There you go.
Glass-Steal. And so anyway, but it would not be Ocean Gate, like Ocean's 11. It would not be Ocean's 11, 12, and 13.
Ocean
it would not
Class
be
49.
Yellow Card. It would not be Yellow Card 27. It would not be Blink 182. It would not be Sum 41.
Why you hating on their names?
See, do you not recognize those three things I just said?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't know. You know how you only listen to R&B and gangster rap, so I didn't know if you were aware of other genres.
I'm aware. So then they cut back.
Sure, check. But no, what I want to say here is like what is very interesting about them is that either she was on a mission, and the whole time she was like either she was deep undercover, and she convinced him to fall in love with her so that she could bring him back there and get revenge. So like the whole time she was playing him. Or she actually but I think that is the only way that makes sense, because how could she have been planning to go back with him and not have told him, by the way, I got a bitch back home. She's gonna be real mad. She's gonna be really mad, but we can figure this out. Like we're open. You know,
She must have been a good ass job acting, because this seemed real genuine, their interactions together.
I know that's what I'm saying, but but literally she didn't even what I was going to say though is she's like, let me go in the house first and let me just talk to her, because we talked about being open before I left, and none of that is happening. So I think it had to be a ruse, because otherwise she just was like really lost in it, and I don't see how she would have planned. Like, say if they had left for Michael June the next day, how would she have explained it? So I am curious on if she does put the memories back in and how she reacts as a result of knowing them now, because only she can tell us if she meant it or not when she puts the memories back in.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut back to Terminus. They go to the vault to talk to Selden for the third crisis. The leaders all walk into the vault. Selden greets them. Ember cuts him off. Was like, I am Mayor Ember, and Selden was like, all right.
Yeah, he goes literally. So he just woke up from his 150-year slumber. He starts his speech. He goes, I am Harry Selden. He goes, well, I'm Ember. Like, just like Brandon said. And it's like, it was so cringe. He was like, excuse me.
That's exactly what he said.
That's it. That's all I want to say.
And then Harry gives a story about empires contracting. And he's like, y'all been coddled your whole life for war. The undisciplined outer arms versus the too authoritarian central government. A war was inevitable.
He's like, it's almost like someone designed it this way.
He's like, I got it figured out. I know what the third crisis is.
He's like, I did it. I did it, guys.
And Torin was like, hey, dog, we don't give a fuck about all that. We good. What about the mule? And he said,
he's like, what's a mule?
And he tells,
like, oh.
He's like, the traitors in the Foundation got a ceasefire to fight this motherfucker. Ain't that what the third crisis is? And he was like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And then we get this scene. So he says, who the fuck is the mule?
What is the mule?
Where is the mule? Might be the better question. The answer...
He's like, who's this guy?
He's already here.
Walden, what is this?
I'm not controlling it.
Alas, the architect.
Tucked away like a tortoise hiding in his shell.
Do you ever wait to look up? There's a sword dangling on a string right above you.
They show for listeners all the ships fighting each other.
The Black Tongue!
While you've been pontificating down there, I've been proliferating up here.
Those are our own ships, firing on each other.
Just calling the herd before I take the reins. Then we'll all march on Trento together. That was always my plan. Tell me, was this part of your plan?
Now, what about to happen now is so insane. I did not see this coming.
Dr. Selden. Help us!
That's what happened. They all like, what the fuck?
He's like, this is not bye. Like literally just disappears himself. And I was hoping he was doing that to come out a back door and be like, it's me in human form. Let me talk to y'all. I'm so sorry. But no, he's like, that wasn't in my table of contents. I don't know what to do here. And so they actually do need Pritchard, but they don't know that they need Pritchard, one, because clearly, you know, what he knows he can't tell them. Two, I am terrified that the mule is already there and they're not ready. Like the whole fucking point of Gaal sleeping and waking up for the last 150 years is for them to be prepared. I'm not saying the second foundation isn't prepared. What I am saying though is that the first foundation, she planned on using some semblance of them to go against him, and he's already there. So like, they're fucked.
And he puts the null field back up. They all go running out because it's fucking with them. And Beta, Torin has to carry Beta.
He doesn't just disappear. He's like, y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here, and starts messing with their brains so that they have to leave.
And then that's the end of the episode, basically. So to know,
is this a 10-episode season?
10-episode season.
We got 3 more. All right.
What are you looking forward to next week?
Brandon P. Bell, if I'm being honest.
He might not even be on the episode.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, he has to be. He has to. They're not gonna leave him in the jail for the rest of the season. That would be a waste of him. That'd be a waste of him in Talek.
So I actually looked at. I never do this, but I was very curious of what next episode title was.
Did you read the next books?
No, I just read what the title of the next episode is, and it's called.
Brandon went out and read the book, guys.
Foundations In.
Wait, foundation apostrophe S or just plural foundations?
Apostrophe S. Foundations In. I said, oh shit, something's happening. So next week, Chanel and I should be on for 2 episodes next week. Yes, because on the 21st, next Thursday, Peacemaker comes out, and on the 22nd, Foundation comes out.
Ooh, we're gonna have a tight schedule.
We'll figure out the schedule, but we'll be back for 2 episodes next week. 2.
We're gonna have to do some mega type stuff because it was bothering me earlier today. You never finished You, which is like, what do we even do all that for you not to finish it?
I am gonna finish
it. And I know we need to do that. We need to do Chief of War, and I need you to start watching some movies when I tell you to watch them, so we can talk. Because like, we should be on this weapons dialogue. Weapons should be an episode we are doing.
Why?
I'm trying.
I don't know anything about it.
It is. Because it is going to be such a movie that will be discussed. It's because it's either so, when you watch it, you would be like, that was either so scary and so good, or so fucking ridiculous and so well made, but still ridiculous. And it's a dialogue we need to be a part of, 1. And 2, Black people talking about this movie does not exist right now. So everybody's doing like really like sincere, earnest theories. Our take on it would be, we need to get on that. So I need you to do what you're doing, stop what you're doing whenever you can, a chance. Go to tell work you don't feel good. Go to the movie. See Weapons. Also, I heard the Spike Lee joint is maybe lacking. So I'll watch that separately and report back. But I need you and Brandy, you and your wife, go see Weapons.
Okay, maybe we'll go see it.
Okay, like soon, and then we talk about it.
So yeah, we'll be back next week, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you for this list. So yeah, I'll stop after season 1, but just to be clear, Brandon sent me this list of the MCU complete timeline. Outside of the Eyes of Wakanda, which I haven't started, I've literally watched all of this. I've watched the one-shots, I've watched the Thors, I've watched I watched AM Groot. I watched all of this. Isn't that crazy?
That's good. This is a
That's
good thing for you. You'll
insane.
be an expert in like next year
I will be
when
an
you
expert.
finish.
I don't know about the what ifs. The what if seems like a lot.
Well, they're only like 15, 20-minute episodes.
Oh, and I heard the Secret Invasion is going to piss me off. Yes or no?
It's not good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening to the We Was Watching podcast. We really appreciated having you guys today. If you want to hear from us again, you can like and subscribe on YouTube or follow us and subscribe to us on any podcast platform. We did get a notification, Brandon, on our most recent review. Someone updated it to tell us they can't follow us for some reason on Apple Podcasts. We do not know why, but please feel free to check us out on anywhere else that we are on Spotify and Overcast. So super sorry about that. Like, we literally have no control over it. We also have like 2 feeds, and apparently we have to figure it out on our own end. They can't merge them for us, so we'll figure that out one day. But for now, try to subscribe to both. You can email us at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. You can interact with us on social media across all the socials at wewaswatching, and like literally I'm on Threads. Brandon's on X sometimes / Twitter. And we try to monitor them all. We're not good at it, but we will get back to you. And if you message us or DM us or email us or give us a 5-star review, we will read it on the show. Anything I missed?
No, that was perfect.
That's great. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for being here. Brandon, great job recapping today. And so you was watching, we was watching, where we were watching a dope ass show with a cool ass chat, making some great ass jokes about hip hop and music videos. What'd you do? Please tell me it's not this episode.
No, I should have told you this before we recorded.
What?
Last episode, episode 5 of Foundation. That was our 100th episode.
Of YouTube?
No, of the podcast.
No, we've passed that. No, Brandon, we've passed 100.
No, that was 100.
No, I'm telling you, we passed out. We've done 100th episode celebration on here. We've been on Spotify longer than YouTube. You mean YouTube?
No, on Apple Podcasts.
No,
100 episodes.
No, Brandon, we've done 100 episodes.
We haven't.
I'm telling you, we've celebrated it on this podcast.
No, you celebrated 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, let's see. About once a week.
But we went a lot of weeks without doing it. We took a break, remember?
That don't seem right.
Yeah, 100 episodes. That's how many we've done. I'm looking at the Spotify creators website. 100 episodes.
Amazing. Huh. Well, guys, that's great.
So thank you all who's been here for 100 episodes, even though most of you probably came around industry. That's when we got a big jump.
Shit. We appreciate that. Yeah, we love that. We love you for that. We're trying to see the same numbers we saw before, and honestly, we just are happy you guys are here.
And I think we all can't wait for industry to come back, right? Industry's great. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So happy 100th episode, Chanel.
Yeah, happy 100th episode for sure.
And we'll be back next week for episode 102, because this was 101.
And yeah.
That's it. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I just started looking at our thing and I just saw comments where people were being mean and I wanted to argue again. All right, guys.